I want to say congratulations on this project. It is fantastic. I was pleasantly surprised by it because I didn't know what to expect from it. For you as a writer and director, why was this a story that you wanted to tell?
Um, you know, I hadn't seen anything where it portrayed, recovery or getting sober and anything that was like my experience. It's always this drab, depressing sort of thing. And I had recently watched a film where I was like, well, this is a great film, but why do they always make it look like so, rough, And yeah, getting in the door is hard, but like the journey is fun, and I hadn't seen that be portrayed that way anywhere. So that was like the whole, kind of reason behind the movie, um, or the
Uh,
inspiration of the movie. And I always want to make a baseball movie. And then I was picking up a friend from Sober Living and taking him surfing at the time. And all these three things together kind of was like, hey, this would be a good kind of formula for a movie, I think.
it definitely made for a great movie because the sports aspect of it was incredible. The emotional aspect of it was so impactful, and then the comedy just made everything so much more cohesive. How hard is it to keep a pacing when you have so much going on?
You mean pacing shooting wise or
No, the story pacing, the way the story progresses.
oh, I don't know. I think as far as writing the story, I just kind of try to get a nice outline and have it take care of itself. Um, but there is a lot going on. The comedy is not written as jokes. The comedy is for my life, comedy comes from the absurdity of the shit I do or the shit, my friends and I have experienced. And I'm a skateboarder at heart. We've made fun of each other since we were kids, and that's how me and my friends still are today. So, the movie is really, it's like a serious movie, but we don't take it too seriously, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely does.
Like you can have a lot of emotions in one 10-minute occurrence within my own house or, hanging out with friends and even when stuff's rough and tough, it's like somebody still can try to make a joke about it,
Mhm.
because there's somebody said to me this somebody said to me a while back that other people's pain is funny now, your own pain is funny later. So if that makes any sense. I really relate to that. I can laugh about all the shit from a long time ago now, and I can laugh at stuff that you're going through right now, depending on the severity, of course.
Of course. Your cast, they blew it out of the park. They were so incredible. How happy are you, and how did you get so lucky to work with such an amazing cast of veterans and newcomers that are just phenomenal?
I don't know how I got lucky to do able. I don't know. I feel like people really responded to the material, which was, I think it's a huge reason. It's not me. I didn't make anything, huge before for them to go, I want to work with that guy. It was more material based. And you know, I feel like I tried to look at these roles as stuff that I maybe had not seen
Mhm.
people do before, like Knoxville. I always knew he was really great. I had a friend that I worked with, producer friend of mine, this like always talked about how serious of an actor he was, but he's mostly known for comedy. And I was like that whole Adam Sandler thing. Like, what if he does this and does this in a very serious way? That'd be really interesting, And then you have like guys like Theo and Bobby. Well, Theo's like, a lot of comic relief, and he hadn't done much, at that point. And then Bobby Lee and Mohr and just bringing these comedians in here to be in this more serious movie, but they bring that lightness that they make jokes about everything, or they have that internal, like, I think, just lightness to them. And then getting Kate to come on board, and in GaTa, like I'd what that role was written for this a surfer kid, and but I was watching the show Dave, and I was like, man, I love this guy, and he has that bipolar episode, and I'm like, this is I gotta get. How can we get GaTa in the movie? And just like, oh well, let's just change Jake to like not really surf and but just do surf therapy, and somehow like I most of these people I asked, and they said yes, which it was like weirdly it came together really, I don't want to say easily, but like um I don't know the word I'm looking for, but very synchronistic to where they were at in their lives or something. It just if Mo too, Mo read it and Mo came on really like last minute, and he really just felt the message in the script and was like attracted to that because I was like nobody that so I wasn't they weren't seeking out me. So um, but I feel very grateful and very lucky to get such a great group like that. And Brian Van Holt, he's a friend of mine, and he's such a great actor. He came in and I got dumbfounded and Shakewell, and those guys have got a couple rappers in the movie. And I think you just musicians and comedians and serious actors, and it just makes for a wild group, which was exactly what the movie is.
Definitely. And the way they get along feels like, a slice of life. It does feel like they've been in these types of roles with each other forever. How do you get that out of them? How do you allow them to not just act but play and contribute the way that they did for this film?
Well, the comedians in the movie knew each other. They all know each other. So Bobby and Theo came in knowing each other, busting each other's balls. And Mo knew them. So Mo was in that already. And then you've got Dumbfounded, I think, knew Bobby. And Brian, he comes in with this like leadership quality because he's been doing this for so many years. And Jonnie was like, Johnny's the one character in the film that he's never funny. He's never there to make jokes. He's dealing with something very hard for him as a character. So he was kind of like that person in the cast. So he was a little bit separate from the rest of them, but the rest of them had this big, like just punchy vibe all the time. It was just pure comedy. It was a fun group to be around for sure.
Definitely. And how did you allow them to improv, and how much of the improv would you say got into the film?
Yes, but realized I didn't answer the question you just asked me. How did we form this group of like the camaraderie? And they just did it automatically. And there was nothing that I did. I didn't like create this environment that was special for them. They just naturally do that. And the improv of the movie, we had a lot to do in a short amount of time. So I would always try to get what was on the page first, right? So we do the scene, there'd be coverage because you got 8 people in a group, right? And you've got to cover all that and get it right. Because if everybody's making jokes and going off book, then it's impossible for my brain to wrap my head around, continuity and stuff like that. So we'd get the scenes and then we joke around, and people would play. And especially the softball stuff is so much more playing than the other scene work. There was so much more room for, just one-liners and this and that all over the place. And we got to use so much of that there. And yeah, I mean it's spattered in throughout for sure, mostly in the softball, but yeah, everybody was, brought their not everybody. There's a few guys that like that's what they do, and then there's other guys that there's a good balance, you know.
Definitely. And since this project is so personal for you, how cathartic was it to make it and to watch it and to have people connect with it? Because it does connect with people and it does bring out a lot of emotion when you're watching it.
That's my favorite part is the fact that it's actually connecting with people, and it's been consistently doing that in the short period of time that people have started seeing it. And that is what I'm most excited about. I just wanted to do it justice in a way, if that makes sense. Like I just wanted to make it feel real in my experience to be my experience in getting sober and my whole life changing and 10 plus years of like good time and fun. There's challenges, right? But like it's a whole different deal that I didn't know existed.
Mhm.
I had no idea, right? The portrayal of it is not that. So I was like terrified of it. And to try to show something like this that is being received the way that it is, it's really special. And I'm a hard judge of the stuff that I've worked on, and I'm happy with this movie. Like we're all very happy with it. I don't know if it's the best movie ever made, right? But it's like we're very proud of it, and I think it does the job. And I don't have any regrets with it. So we're very happy with it.
Awesome. Well, it's a fantastic project. Congratulations, and thank you very much for your time.
Thanks, Jesus. Appreciate it.